rest of its face hidden behind the wall. The animal's eyes appear to be completely black, a characteristic that's frequently linked to cryptids and other beings. And honestly,
Yeah, I hope I don't have a problem, because I normally have a problem with this shit. And it looks like I may be having a problem.
this unsettling
Shit.
video shows an unidentified creature.
I don't know what to do.
Behind the wall. It's
Open
very
it up
obvious
with
that
my
whatever
phone.
this is,
Stand by, fellas, just in case. I do have this thing up and running, but let's see here. Oh man. Y'all know this just could be a straight blooper reel anytime I do a live stream. Okay, looks like it's up and running. Anyway, at least the siding doesn't look too bad, you know. That was the whole point of why I had to break my little lab down, because they needed to redo the siding back here. And man, I don't know if you guys remember in the beginning, I told you guys that they told me it was going to take a week to do. As you can see, man, they still working. Now, that was about 3 or 4 months ago when they started. So, yeah, they haven't even gotten out of this little cul-de-sac yet, man. They still back here. Anyway, fellas, man, when they first started working back here and I had to take this stuff down, it got cold, and obviously I never put my lab back together like it was. As you can see, it is helter goddamn skelter. And I really wasn't in no mood to do this crap today, but it's halfway nice. And man, I've been promising to do this stock e-bike modification, man, and honestly I really can't do it properly unless I get my workspace back, you know, in some type of order. So anyway, that is the goal for today. Try to get some type of organization to this mess. And let me turn this damn thing down. Watching Bigfoot stuff, you know. You know I'm a cryptid. I like cryptozoology, paranormal, UFOs, all that weird shit that most people don't like. I love it. Want more of it. Anyway, don't never get old, guys. You know, that's all I can tell you. Don't never get old. Because my ass is old, and I don't be feeling like doing shit, especially when it comes to work. Anyway, what's the day? Tuesday. I'm pretty sure everybody's at work, and it's kind of early, so I doubt I'll have anybody on this live stream, but at least I get to explain myself. And if people watch this later on at some point, they at least understand why I haven't been out here, and understand why I'm so behind on everything. So, like I say, man, the plan is to get things back in some type of order, so we can move forward in this DIY stuff. Not only that, man, I have really abused everything out. Well, no, not abused. That's not the right word. Neglected. I have neglected my equipment, my parts, my tools, and everything. Now, although it was, why is this stuff wet? Look at that. Oh, okay. This came out the box that was sitting. Yeah, see what I'm saying? I neglected this stuff, man. This thing was sitting out in the rain. That crate right there, I had put it outside the door and it got rained on. So, let's hope this can dry out. Put it in a big bag of rice or something. And, you know what? Maybe that water wasn't actually inside the damn controller. Maybe it was just in the heat sinks. Who knows? I don't know. But this controller right here has sentimental value. It came out of Frank. This is the Hyundai, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, the Hyundai wannabe Sabaton look-alike El Cheapo from Amazon. And I'm not talking bad about this controller, because let me tell you, man, this controller right here gave Frank his superpowers. And just in case anybody happens to watch this and you know they're new to my channel, Frank was and is my Zugo Rhino. Frank is under that cover back there, and like I said, Frank was a Zugo Rhino that I modified with you know, inexpensive, economical parts such as this controller. And I got Frank up to 53 miles per hour. Now, I know to some 53 miles per hour may not sound like a lot in the grand scheme of things, since we have you know, moved on to this racing stuff. However, for a Zugo Rhino, 53 miles per hour was haul assing. And man, you couldn't tell me that I wasn't the fastest the fastest son of a bitch in the world when I was on Frank. Maybe that's how I feel now, and maybe I ain't, you know, maybe I'm gonna realize in the future that I ain't fast now. But anyway, like I said, this controller right here is a Hyundai controller. I'll try to put the link in the description, but you can find this on Amazon for $70. That's right, $70. $70, like I said, made Frank from a slow snail 28 mile per hour Zugo Rhino to a 72 volt 53 mile, I might as well say 55 legal speed limit little beast of a bike. And I did that entire build for less than $1,000. Not only that, let me just tell you this for people that don't know. Frank as a whole, I don't think I had more than $1,500 in Frank in total. And that's probably way over what I actually spent, to be honest. That's probably not a right figure. I got Frank for $500. I don't want to go back over that whole story, but basically I got that Zugo Rhino for $500. The dude broke the battery, and he called Zugo, and Zugo at that time wanted like $1,100 or something for that 52 48 volt, I can't even remember what it was, battery. So yeah, I got Frank for $500. Then after the battery, that little controller, everything, a 3,000 watt direct drive Chinese motor, not a QS, but a Chinese motor. Yeah, we did that. And Frank was good to Geo. Now let's see. Am I talking to myself? Let's see. I don't know. Okay, no, I ain't talking to myself. Of course, my man Lou is here. What's going on, Lou? And a few other folks. But anyway, obviously y'all bored AF and they ain't got shit to do. So this ain't gonna be no great stream or great video, whatever. I'm just trying to get this shit back in order so we can get it popping. Let me see, what else? What else can we talk about? I know what I want to talk about, because somebody asked me in my notifications today, and it's a question that I'm sure I answered a million times, but I'm going to answer it again. The question was, they had a stock e-bike with a geared 750 watt motor, and they wanted to know, could they convert that bike into 72 volts? And my answer was yes. And what I need to explain, and I get that question a lot when I go out on group rides and stuff. I tell people all the time, it's normally not really the motor rating of 750 watts, 1,000 watts, 1,500 watts. They normally put that sticker on there and rate that entire bike based off of what that bike is capable of, because of its controller and its battery. Most of the time, those stock e-bikes only have a 15, 20, 25 amp controller with a 48 or 52 volt battery. And that's pretty much all those bikes are. You know, they say that it's a 750 watt motor, 1,500 watt motor, based on those controller and battery specs. 90% of the time, the motors can handle much more power than that. The only thing in that particular situation that would limit that bike as far as how much power you can run is, first of all, it's a gear driven motor. Now, this is why I like direct drives. Geared motors are fine for, you know, most people, because they have good torque. Because of that planetary gear, it actually amplifies, you know, the torque and the gearing. But that is the fail point as far as if you're trying to run more power. Now, because those motors are already torquey, if you put 72 volts on them and a high power controller, not a high power controller, but a controller capable of 40-50 amps, they will run and run fine for the most part, if you do not, you know, give them a lot of throttle from the takeoff. Because the only thing that fails in those motors are normally those little nylon gears. Those geared motors, the planetary drive has 3 little plasticky nylon gears in it, and normally that's what fails. You know, when you put a controller that's giving it more torque, they snap. As far as the coils in the motors, they pretty much can handle at least 5,000 watts. You know, I wouldn't put a whole lot more than that in them, but you could put 5,000 watts in those motors, just not with a lot of current, because, you know, current gives you that them newton meters of torque. It gives you that acceleration, the power. So yeah, that's the only reason, that's the only thing that will limit those motors. Now, you can put steel gears in those planetary drives. I did that. I upgraded and put the steel gears in there, but you know, that makes it a little louder. But at that point, at least you don't have to worry about the gear snapping and that leaving you stranded. All right. And as far as any of those inexpensive bikes with the direct drives, the Chinese direct drives, the non-QS direct drives, you can run 72 volts on them bikes all day long with not a problem. I don't mean no crazy amounts of power, but you know, you definitely can run 5, 6, 7,000 watts in those direct drives, and they'll be fine. You may have to upgrade the phase wires depending on which one of those Chinese motors you got. Some of them come with little small 18 gauge wires. You know, you can run 3,000-4,000 watts through it, but it's not good. It's definitely not going to get good current flow. So on Frank, I had upgraded those phase wires to what did I end up putting in that motor? I mean, it wasn't nothing stupid, maybe like some 10 gauge. I think I put 10 gauge in there. But yeah, that's that. Okay, let's see, any questions over here? Yeah, somebody said they heat up. They all heat up, but yeah, I didn't have any problems with it. But at the same time, like I said, I ran a direct drive. I really wouldn't put a whole lot of power in the gear driven. Now, another problem that those cheaper motors have is the hall sensors in them. They use cheap hall sensors. Now, if you're using high voltage on them, that's another fail point, is the hall sensors. You can put some better quality hall sensors in there, and that'll help too. All right, so that's all I want to say about that topic. I don't really want to go deep in it. Best thing to do is you want to go faster, get yourself a direct drive. I mean, I really wouldn't